So, hello guys, and welcome back to the season 3 of the River Sweep podcast. It's been long since we recorded an episode, but as the Test cricket is back, and so are we, and this time a lot of debates going around with the Western media, English media crying once again about the doctored pitch and also crying about how difficult is it to play in India against the quality spin attack. But what a start to the Border Gavaskar series! Absolutely thrashed Australia in 3 days. I was there personally in Nagpur, watched day one, two sessions. Luckily, reached on time on day three to watch Ashwin and Jadeja masterclass on day three. Like it was unbelievable. Like how we
Uh,
scored 400 on the same pitch, and then they got all out like on
91,
91.
91, yeah,
Yeah, and
91.
that to less than under 2 hours. So I was at the stadium and I had some work, and my father just and I came back in like 2 hours, and my father was surprised that how come I'm so early back home. But what an insane match, man! Like absolutely thrashed. Love thrashing Australia, but let's start with why do you think there's so much of crying over every time when India plays a home test? There's this crying over how India is doctoring the pitches, making it impossible for the foreign batters to bat on this pitch, saying that it should get a demerit point and all that blah 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 crying. So
I think, yeah,
what do you make of that?
the perfect response was India's batting, right? If we had 400, 400 is a very good score on any pitch, like irrespective, right? So the fact that we had 400 shut everyone up, right? वो तो होता ही रहता है. Like Australia just played South Africa last month or 2 months back, and even those matches got over in like 3 days, right?
I
And
think
like
one
no
of the
one was
test match got over in less than two
in two
days as
days.
well.
Yeah, and like no one talks about that. It's just India. You need something to talk about, right? You need some masala, and that's what they do because they know that you can't win. Or Australia showed that. Honestly, like I expected more, right? And like this team, I think this team is much more like in terms of Labush and Smith. Like they don't talk about the pitch, which is good. I think even Cummins as a captain, he stood up and said that the pitch should be out of the picture, which is good mentality, right? It's just the journalist from outside who's just talking about the pitch to build masala, but clearly shows that अगर अक्षर पटेल can hit 84, अक्षर पटेल out of all the people,
I
then
think
definitely it's
Shami
battable, yeah.
scored more than all the Australian batsmen in the
Yeah,
second.
exactly.
What? So Shami scored 40 or something like that.
34,
So
huh? 34, huh?
so, but it's absolutely insane about it's not like the first time that they have cried about the pitch. England did win. Like even if you go back to 2021, I think when
Joe
England
Root's
defeated,
first test.
yeah, England defeated India in Chennai. So that time they were like, okay, the pitch is fine. But suddenly then when Ahmedabad came or when Bangalore came and then England got thrashed, they started again talking about the pitch. But do you it's I think it's the thing that with the home advantage. So when you travel to a likes of Australia or a likes of New Zealand, you will get a seamer friendly track. So obviously like it's that's the whole point of a home and away series and the whole point of the World Test Championship that you play equal home and equal away equal series
कोहली
as well.
कोहली तो होम में भी रन नहीं मार रहा है यार. कोहली टेक कोहली टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया साउथ अफ्रीका, he'll make more runs there. Struggles versus spin at home.
But I don't think so there was anything wrong in that Nagpur pitch. Yeah, it was turning a bit, but I think it was more down to the quality of the spinners in both the sides. When you look at our spinners, you see like Ashwin, Akshar, Jadeja. So it was clearly a matter of quality, and I don't think it was much to play with the pitch in there. And I don't expect anything less in the next three tests as well. But our news came today that the third test between the third test from Dharamshala has been shifted to Indore, and we know how the flat indoor wicket is. So what do you make
No,
out
this
of
part,
that?
it's one of the smallest stadium in Australia, in India,
Eh,
sorry. But also Ashwin, I was reading a stat that Ashwin's best average is in Indore.
Indore
So, so
12.5.
it'll be quite interesting, right? But I mean, first of all, it's poor on Dharmshala. I mean, if you're hosting an international test, you should be prepared, right? That they couldn't prepare on time. I mean, it's sad. Because Dharmshala also like really beautiful venue to like watch test cricket or play cricket, right? But I think it'll be a good test. Right? Finally, at least Australia can get some runs under their belt, hopefully. Like honestly, like as much as I want India to win, agar, like it should be like a good contest, you know. Like agar कोई masala है, क्योंकि Australia is a very good team. Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne, I love watching them bat. Um, so indoor, I think it's too far ahead, right? One test at a time. Let's focus on second test first. But should be good. Let's see. And coming back to your point, Jadeja also said in his interview, right, that Australian batsmen got out more to straighter balls than to balls that spun.
Yeah.
And like so, like it shows that it's all a mentality thing, right? Spinning India, pitches, all that. Whoever bats better on the day wins, basically, and that's what happened.
Yep, and I think Akshar also made a good point that tomorrow when India will bowl again, the pitch will change. And today
Exactly.
the pitch was playing fine, but it's absurd. Like it's hilarious that people are still crying over the pitches. And one more point is, so looking at all the venue changes, like Indore, very unlikely to get a test match. I think I don't remember when was the last time that Indore hosted a test match. So, so I go back to 2019-20 when Virat Kohli said that India should have the same plan as Australia. When you go to Australia, a touring team knows that they will play a match at Adelaide, Sydney, Perth, Gaba. Like there are fixed 4 or 5 Test cricketing venues. So do you think that BCCI should look, because I personally have watched the game at Nagpur. Yes, Nagpur did sell out a good number of tickets, but I saw like almost two and a half stands were full of children who were given free entry, and there was a lack of proper atmosphere that you might see somewhere like in Mumbai or Bangalore, where people get behind, they are chanting, they are supporting the team. It's not like Nagpur didn't, but what I felt was it was more of a less
Charity, charity के लिए
charity
लोग आ गए हैं.
charity, and tickets were very cheap, so people just came around, like not much interested in chanting. There was a silence for a lot of times in the stands. Apart from the, I really appreciate the children who came, like they made the most of majority of the noise in the stadium. But what do you think, like should we go to a five or a, not even five, maybe 5 to 6 venues, and out of those cities should only get the test matches?
आपने आपने क्या chant किया?
Yeah, I was trying to lift everyone to get chant for Jadeja, chant for Ashwin, chant
No,
for
but yeah,
everyone.
that it's tough, right? Australia mein, there are only 5 cities who can host like proper cricket, but India has like 20, 25 proper grounds, and like everyone's kind of selfish. Every board wants money. Right now, Nagpur cricket must have benefited so much because of the money coming through because of this test, right? So it's tough because India has to sustain. And like I think in Asia in general, the same problem is in Pakistan, right? People test cricket, so people and Pakistan have to sell free tickets. I think in Asia in general, is like Tuscany is was dying in between, right? So first of all, they want to sell out. It's hard to sell out. Why? 8 घंटे के लिए on a working day, you have to come and sit and watch cricket in the heat. आसान नहीं है. So I feel like Mumbai, Wankhede, obviously it's amazing, and I think Delhi is a good start. Second test is in Delhi, so it's a metro city. So hopefully we get a good crowd there.
But
But
but the problem with Delhi is, like, what I've seen from people. I've not been to Firozshah Kotla, but I think it's a very old stadium, and the facilities around that stadium is not that good. Plus, um, Kejriwal is there. Plus, the air jokes about, yeah. Like there are a lot of factors. I think a capital city of India like Delhi should reinvest in a, like, either they
yeah,
make a new stadium outside somewhere, or they renovate the Firozshah Kotla, because um, what happens in the test matches, you have to sit for long 9 hours. So if the facilities in the stadium, in general, the stands, the sitting arrangement and everything is not good, eventually fans won't feel like coming, even if the tickets are cheaper. Like it's all about the stadium experience. Like Nagpur in that sense was very good, like a great stadium, great
yeah.
infrastructure, everything was good. But we cannot say same for the likes of Firuzshah Kotla. So
No,
that
agreed.
is.
I think IPL is a big factor, right? The fact that IPL has not been happening in Delhi for the last 3 years because of COVID and all, that obviously disrupts growth because when IPL happens, every stadium has to invest, right? Because they have to improve the resources and IPL games always sell out. But to that point, I don't think necessarily India should have fixed 5, 6. because then other boards will get like angry about it, right? And like we need to maintain all the stadiums. Like obviously, like Motera will always host a game, right? It's the biggest stadium, biggest cricket stadium ever. So like that
Narendra
will always
Modi.
host a game. Yeah, exactly. And like I personally have been to Wankhede like 6, 7 times myself, and Wankhde's atmosphere is unmatched, right? Like Mumbai people, everything, the vibe, everything around the area is like so fucking good, right? So obviously Wankhede should be a stadium, but then at the same time, have to look at other things. But I think the intensity of what a Gavaskar Trophy comes from the players and in Australia. It doesn't come from the stadium, so it's not that big of a deal, honestly.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but imagine Mumbai getting every time India Australia or say India England in that sense with the baseball coming in, the atmosphere thus makes Test cricket more attractive. And because I think there's a lot of cricket all around the year with a lot of T20s, a lot of ODIs, and other boards can benefit from that. Like Raipur recently hosted India New Zealand. It was a sellout
Raipur,
65.
अबे रायपुर कहाँ से आ गए? रायपुर in Mumbai, nowhere close.
No, I'm telling that smaller cities or a smaller stadiums that have not got matches, they can host limited over crickets
Yeah,
because
agreed.
they will eventually sell out. But we cannot say the same for Test cricket because I don't think if a Test match is played in Raipur, I don't think so it sells out.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Like I'm from Raipur, but still it's a fact that I don't think so. People would be that interested in going and watching a Test cricket for 5 days. So so I think even if we don't have a fixed five venues. I think there should be a point where we give games to Mumbai, Bangalore, maybe Ahmedabad is by default. I think 3, 4 stadiums should be locked in, and then rotate other two if you are having a 5 Test match series. But looking ahead, what do you expect from Firozshah Kotla? Uh, I expect a lot of turn from day one. Red soil. What do you make of Firozshah Kotla for the second test? Will you see people crying again for the pitch?
No, I think first of all, Delhi in general has been a slow pitch, right? Firozshah Kotla has always been like a slow pitch, like a Chennai pitch. So they expect like, and it has massive boundaries, Firozshah Kotla. So it's not easy. It's not a very high scoring place as well. But it's going to be a same pitch as Nagpur, honestly. Thoda spin hoga, sab kuch hoga. I think Australians have to apply themselves better, right? But also from India, they can't go into the overconfidence phase ki abhi run maar diye because Australia will come back strong. They are a team who always come back strong. But I don't expect any crying now. The fact that Akshar and Sami scored shut everyone up and shows that you can bat on a spinning pitch, right? So that's
Yeah,
good to see.
and I think only thing is I think they will find more local bowlers who can bowl like Akshar, bowl like Ashwin
Ashwin,
to come and bowl in the nets.
I think Australia wanted to practice at Nagpur today, and they rejected. Nagpur ने मना कर दिया. Nagpur watered all the pitches and मना कर दिया.
Obviously, like why do we even give any advantage, any chance of comeback? It's our home series, and I think what Australian fans and media was also against was Australia refused to play a practice test match in India. So they can't really complain. We offered them a practice match and they declined it, and we cannot really complain. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I hopefully we don't see much of crying about the pitch, and let people play the game, which is safe for both the teams. It's not like the pitch changes when India comes to bat or India comes to bowl or vice versa. It is the same for both the teams, and I think it all comes down to the quality of players and how well they play. So yeah, that was pretty much it on our comeback episode of season 3. See you guys in the next episode. Till then, take care. Goodbye.